Alright, let's play a Pinoy game, bros. Okay, Jack and Poi. Okay, sige. Jack and... No, it's not Filipino, you fucking walnut. That's Japanese. Your weeb ass may think that you know all the Japanese words you need to watch anime, but how about Japanese words you need for everyday life? Today, I will teach you all about Japanese words or phrases that were adopted into Filipino language. Okay, so mini history lesson first. Why do we have Japanese in our vocabulary in the first place? Okay, so most Filipinos know that Japanese occupation happened from 1942 to 1945 during the Second World War. During this time, a hashtag cultural cross-pollination happened between the Philippines and the Japanese forces. The soldiers and Filipinos would drink together and play mahjong together. The cruel ones are the mercenaries, but that's another history lesson for another day. Let's start with the one I mentioned earlier. Jak and Poi is actually a bastardization of Jankenpon, simply called Janken in Japanese. It's basically the same rock, paper, scissors, it's just gravely misheard by Pinoys. Pretty cringy now that you know about it, right? Next, Kaban. You know Kaban ng bigas and Kaban ng bayan, right? It's actually from the Japanese word Kaban, which means bag. Kaban ng bigas came from sacks of rice, while Kaban ng bayan came from the time when Mickey Mouse money was in circulation, and by the time its value plummeted during the end of the Second World War, they were stored en masse inside bayongs, traditional Filipino bags, or kaban as the Japanese would refer to it. Next one is pretty common, but most people actually miss it. What do Pinoys say when they're drinking? Kampai, right? How about the Japanese people? Kanpai, right? That's pretty much it. Japanese people are known to drink with the locals. Filipinos possibly picked up the phrase while drinking with the soldiers. Now that you're kanpaiing, you want to do something while drinking, right? How about karaoke? Also Japanese. It originally means empty orchestra or like karapo orchestra. I think that's what my N6 Japanese tells me. We all know what karaoke is, everyone has done that. I don't need to explain any further. The next ones are some that are pretty interesting with how uncommon or unexpected these are. Katol. I've been confused as a child because this means itchy in Hiligaynon, my mother tongue. But why are mosquito coils called katol then? The Japanese name for mosquito coils are katorisenko. Can you see it? There. It's shortened and erufied katorisenko, katol. Speaking of sniffing things, Shabu. What? Yes, methamphetamine, also known as Shabu in the Philippines. But the term for the drug actually came from the Japanese. It is a slang term for methamphetamine in Japanese, which probably means that meth came from the Japanese people? Next word, tansan. No, not bottle caps. Tansan came from tansanmizu, or shortened to tansan in Japanese. Tansan meaning carbonic acid. I am still very impressed about how sophisticated chemistry is in Japan before globalization. This is actually the word that inspired me to do this while watching Dr. Stone when Gen and Senku referred to carbonated water as tansan. And yes, carbonated water, soft drinks, bottled, they are sealed by bottle caps, and maybe that's why it's stuck. That's why we call bottle caps tansan. Last one is pretty common in Visayan languages. Young boys are usually referred to as Toto. There are quite a few Totos I know, and no, not the artist that sang Africa. Banger, by the way. Can you guess? Ototo. Yes, as in younger brother. Similar to how we call random people kuya or ate, it's just reverse. The Japanese people would call young boys ototo, like their younger brother, and the Filipinos also called them toto, and it stuck. That's all we have for now, you weebs. More useless knowledge to add to your brain. Now flex on your weeb friends about the knowledge you learned. Be that obnoxious guy that tells everyone about the origins of karaoke during a session, aka me. People don't like me too much.
He turned to me as if to say, hurry boy, it's waiting there for you. It's gonna take a lot to drag me Fuck.